Hello, folks. Welcome to Scratch the Surface. I'm EJ Scott. Today, my guest is Joanne Whalley. Joanne is an actress that's been around for a long time, and I was so excited to talk to her, and she talked to me for a good long while. Before I get into what we talked about, let me give myself a plug. I'm on Twitter at EJ Scott, and the podcast is on Twitter at EJ Podcast, Instagram EJ Scott 1106, website ejscott.com. There's a documentary called Running Blind that's about me running 12 marathons in 12 states in 12 months in 2012, blindfolded. Why would I do that? Because I am going blind from an eye disease called choroideremia, and it runs in my family. My grandfather was blind from it. My brother is going blind from it. He's legally blind now. I'm legally blind now and losing my sight from it. And my two nephews also have the disease. So I'm always looking to raise awareness and money for the cause. To learn more, you can go to curechm.org, and you could also donate there if you wanted. And check out Running Blind on iTunes, Amazon, and Google Play. Only available in digital form, but for only $2 or $3, you can rent it or own it. I think it's on YouTube as well. I'm not sure. And also, while you're at it, go subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. And if you could, leave a review and a rating. That'd be very helpful. Hopefully a positive one. All right. So that's about it. All right. So Joanne Whalley, Whalley. I asked her the correct way to pronounce it, and she said Whalley. Is on the latest season of Marvel's Daredevil on Netflix, and she does an awesome job. She plays Sister Maggie. Just a heads up that we talk about season 3, so if you have not seen season 3 yet, go watch it before we talk about it, because we do mention some spoilers. So just know you are warned. So we talk about Daredevil, but we talk about a lot of stuff. We talk about her start in acting and growing up in the UK and doing the movie I remember as a kid, Willow, that's directed by Ron Howard and stars Val Kilmer, where Val Kilmer was Joanne's husband. That's where they met and then got married and had 2 kids. They divorced, and we talk about that stuff and their relationship now. We talk about that whole experience, and she's worked on many, many projects and movies and television. We talk about a long roster of people that she's worked with, including Bill Murray, Liam Neeson, Mark Rylance, Ian McKellan. She's worked with some of the greats of the greats, and it's really interesting. We talk about her interests. She's taking ballet classes and piano, and she was a singer at one point. She tried singing. We talk about that. She's also on a Blink-182 album. We talk about that. We talk about all sorts of stuff. I had a great time talking with her. I hope you'll enjoy listening to it. From November 5th, 2018, here is my talk with Joanne Whalley. Hi, Joanne.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you for coming over.
You're so welcome.
I'm so excited to talk with you. I've been a fan since the 80s. I was born in 75, so I grew up with all that 80s stuff. It's awesome.
Right.
When you just came here from, you said ballet.
I did. Yeah.
You're a ballet dad. Do you do it other than taking classes, or do you do it for exercise?
No, I do it. Well, it is exercise,
Yeah.
but the great thing about ballet is it's so demanding, and it's such an intellectual thing that I always forget about that it's actually really good for you, because it's so challenging in other ways.
Yeah.
It's completely absorbing, and I'm a little bit obsessed with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love it.
Always been?
I love it. No, it's a relatively new thing for me, and I just love it.
How'd you happen upon it?
I was doing, one of those exercise bar classes. Like they have bar method, pop bar this, bar that, and the other. There's and they do ballet-like exercises
Right.
as part of the class. And I felt so happy at the bar that I thought maybe I should try real ballet. And I found this amazing place here in LA and called Align Ballet. And it's owned by a dancer called Michael Cornell, and who is now a teacher. And he teaches adult ballet. And it's kind of incredible.
Awesome.
What he's set up. And now there's classes across the city, but I take pretty close to here.
Yeah.
And I go every day. If there's a class, I'm there.
Really? No kidding?
Yeah, no, I love it. It's like my day doesn't start till I've done my ballet class in the mornings. So.
Oh, that's nice to have.
Yeah.
I was talking to my therapist the other day about exercise, and I was working with a personal trainer for a while, and then I went to New York, and then I came back and I was sick, and then I haven't worked
you get out of the rhythm
get out
of
of
it,
it, and I haven't gone back to it. I'm going to next week I will, and I go, I just hate it. And my therapist
See, this is
says,
the thing.
yeah.
This is the thing. If you don't this is why it's so great for me, because I love it, and it's not about. I always forget that it's actually really good for me as well.
See, I don't have
because
that.
So I can't wait to get there.
Maybe I have to do ballet.
Saturday nights, I'm like, fantastic. There's class in the morning. I'm going home now.
Oh, that's nice.
I know.
It's nice to have something like that to look forward
but
to.
I love it. So it doesn't. It's really no. It's there's no discipline involved
Is it
for
like
me
a-
because I just love it.
Is it like a beginner's class or something? Or how does that work? Are there
You
levels?
you start as a beginner,
Yeah.
unless you've done it before. But and there are levels, so you get better at it as
Okay.
you progress.
Okay, cool. Do you work with partners and stuff?
I haven't done partnering, but
Okay, you
I'm
haven't
sure
been
at some
lifted up.
point. No, not
Yeah.
in that context.
Well, that's pretty cool. Is there a showcase? Probably not. It's just a...
They do certain things, and you get to work on like certain variations, which are fun to do, and it's so rewarding. I can't tell you.
Did you always dance?
Only like just for for fun
In
and
clubs
around
or
the
something.
kitchen.
Kitchen, right. Well, I know in doing some research on you, you were in the music scene
A little bit.
back in the day. You're a singer. I mean, I don't know if you still
Well,
sing.
not
but-
really. Like I kind of ended up doing. I mean, I like for me, all these things are connected. Like the great thing about like ballet or having another kind of related discipline in the arts is that if you're not working on your first love, which is acting for me, there are other ways to develop and explore and
Be creative.
express yourself, be creative,
Yeah.
whatever. So they're all, and I feel like they all kind of help each other too. So it's all kind of the same thing for me.
Yeah.
I don't think of as, and I ended up doing some music stuff, and I still like from time to time. I mean, your voice is your instrument as an actor. That's what they call it, inverted commas, instrument.
Right.
And so there's different ways of using it. So it's all kind of the same thing.
Yeah. And back in the...
I take piano lessons too.
Oh, do you? Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah.
Is that new too?
Pretty new.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, it's like probably like 7 or 8 years now.
What brought that on? Just another...
I always wanted to play the piano.
Yeah.
And then I thought, God damn it, just get a piano and find a teacher then. Finally. So I did.
How's that going?
I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you play? What do you like playing?
I like classical stuff.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. Like it's like with ballet. Like it's so absorbing, so 100%. You have, and like if I'm distracted, you can't play probably because I need to focus 100%. So I'll sit down and I'll be working on something, and then you'll turn around and it's it's like 3 hours have passed, and you go, oh my God, is that the time?
Yeah.
Because you get like it gets personal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Are you always? Are you a pretty focused person, or can you multitask?
I think I'm better when I'm focused, but not everything that should take my full attention takes it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm a bit selective. If I'm engaged in it, then it's easy for me to stay focused. I could be there all night.
Sure.
But if it's something I don't want to do, particularly,
You zone out.
that's really hard.
Yeah. That's me with most things.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm like that.
Yeah.
I have to force myself, drag myself to do certain things.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Do you see that in your kids? Because you have 2 kids.
Yeah, they're a
older
little
now,
bit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a family trait.
Can you relate?
Selective attention span.
Yeah. But when you played music back in, what was it, the 80s, early 80s, something like that? You were in like a punk rock band?
Yeah, I mean, I just messed around on the edges of all that stuff.
That's funny though, punk rock is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Especially back then. Yeah.
Well, it was really exciting because I'm from Manchester in England. So a lot of great music came out of Manchester in the late 70s, 80s. Well, there's always great stuff coming out of Manchester. But it was a really amazing time to be discovering the world of going out,
Yeah.
And there were some amazing clubs. And there was a great film, actually. I think it was Michael Winterbottom directed it, and it was called 24-Hour Party People.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. That was in the 90s, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin or something?
No.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of something else.
No, this was all set in Manchester, and it was set around the beginning of Factory Records, which had all amazing bands like the Buzzcocks and Magazine, and there was a particular. Sorry, that's my phone buzzing.
Okay.
There was a guy called Tony Wilson who started this nightclub, and then it was a venue. Really, it wasn't a nightclub. It was a music venue, and then a record label, and I remember thinking, there's going to be nothing like it was, because I was there. I remember the Factory before it was the Factory, and I remember thinking they'll never get the atmosphere, they'll never get it right, and they did a really good job.
Really?
It made me laugh out loud. I mean, it was so well done, because they really did get the crazy spirit of the time and the place.
What was it like?
It was just nuts. It was just it was just nuts, because the great thing about the whole punk thing was that anything kind of went, it was all about deconstruction. And so it was madness, but fun.
What'd you like listening to back then?
Oh God, who did I like?
Is Sex Pistols and stuff?
Well, yeah, I mean they were always good for a laugh, but I liked the Clash, and I liked the Buzzcocks, and I liked New Order, and I liked Joy Division, and I liked who else? I loved Magazine, actually. Susie and the Banshees. I don't know, all those guys.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you hear your kids? Did your kids get into punk at all?
Yeah, they're
relate
very
on
musical.
Music?
Actually, they love all kinds of things. And what's nice about them is that I like music from all different kinds of places. I've never been one person who's stuck on one thing, and so and they have that too.
That's nice.
They know all kinds of old, new, indie, established. They can enjoy something super pop, but then they'll bring me something and say, "You've got to hear this guy or this gal or whatever," and it'll be someone who no one has ever heard of, and it's amazing. You know? So they're very, very into music, both of them.
You ever go to concerts with them or anything?
Yeah, actually, I think the last concert I went to with both of them was we went to see Neil Young.
Oh wow!
Probably a year or so ago now, maybe even 2.
In LA?
At the Forum in Inglewood.
Yeah.
And that was an amazing night. He was on fire.
Really?
And he had all those Willie Nelson boys as his backing band, as his band.
Oh, wow.
And he was incredible. We were amazed. Because you always think, has he still got the appetite for it,
Yeah.
But he was on fire.
That's great.
It was a great night.
He may not be touring anymore.
Really?
I think.
We got lucky then.
I think he said he has Alzheimer's or something.
Oh, really?
Something like that, or Parkinson's. One of those things. I'm like,
I don't know.
No, that's terrible. But that's
he was brilliant.
Yeah. Sweet Caroline. Ba ba da. That's a big drink. That's a big drinking song. Every time I think of Neil Young, not Neil. Is it Neil Young?
Neil Young.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm thinking Neil
Diamond.
My mistake. No, Neil Young.
So you like to drink to Neil Diamond? Is that in your spare time?
In my high school days, there was wherever you went to like some big party, especially like this one place that was just like a business, a party business. It was like a bunch of people would go. It wasn't even a bar. It was just a tent. And they always played Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline, and everybody in the whole place would go, da, 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 you know? And
where are you from?
I'm from Long Island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, New York. But I've been out here a pretty long time. When did you move out here? Oh, you moved out in like the 90s, right?
Yeah, just on the 90s, probably. Just like 89, maybe. I don't know.
Was it a big...
I forgot, so long ago.
Yeah. Was it a big... do you remember if it was a big adjustment moving from UK to here?
Well, I moved to New Mexico.
First?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So that was a bit of a culture shock.
What was going on in New Mexico?
Just life.
Why New Mexico out of all 50 states? I mean, you're an actress too, so why like New Mexico?
Well, my husband at the time,
right.
That was his. Not exactly. Well, it was his home. No, he was actually born here in California, but he had spent a lot of time out there, and it was his kind of preferred home state.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember like driving from Albuquerque out to Santa Fe, and I'd never seen anything. I mean, it was magical. Yeah. Because New Mexico really is the land of enchantment. I mean, it's a magical place, and I absolutely love it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's
so different. I mean, it's basically...
I love it when you land there and you get off the plane and you can smell it immediately. It
really
smells different than anywhere else, and you just know you're in New Mexico. I love it there.
I think I've been there. I drove cross country with my brother-in-law and his brother, and we did it very slowly, and we went through New Mexico and slept in a camper and stuff.
It's beautiful.
And there's just giant, mountains and rocks and cliffs.
Well, also, New Mexico is very green as well in places because it's high mountain desert. It's not desert like Arizona or something. Right. It's not that. So you have all the pinon pines and the sage and I mean, just the smell of those two things. It's very beautiful.
Yeah. You ever think about going back?
I mean, the reason I ended up in LA was because, with little kids, and then you need to get them in school, and your life, that becomes your life, like their life becomes your life. Yeah, yeah. And it was much easier to function here. Yeah. And,
it made more sense. Everything's kind of here.
And you can't be out in the wilds and riding horses and, thinking no one knows where I am. You know what I mean?
Do your kids have accents? Are they American
they're very
accents?
American. Yeah.
Do you ever get back to the UK?
I do, yeah.
Do you still work there sometimes?
I do, off and on. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I love the UK.
Yeah.
It's really nice there. So you were born Deborah and I went to Manchester a year and a half ago.
Did you?
Yeah, for the first time.
Why?
I won a raffle, a charity raffle, and the prize was to go to Wales and go camping in Bear Grylls Adventure Camp.
That's mad. With Bear Grylls?
Well, was he
there?
He showed up. He didn't sleep there overnight. We slept there overnight with a bunch of other people. And I got to meet him and talk to him.
Wales is beautiful too.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous.
Spectacular.
It's all green. Yeah, it's gorgeous. And then we decided to make a trip of it, and we extended it and went to Manchester for a few days. Did you
drive into Manchester?
Yeah. Yep. We stayed there and checked out some museums and what was around there. It was fun. It was really nice. And when you were recording, what I saw was that you got to record at Abbey Road Studios.
I did. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
I know.
Do you remember? Was it a big deal to you then? Like going, oh shit, this is Abbey Road Studios. Beatles.
I think so. I think half the time you just you get so used to crazy things happening you think, oh, okay.
That's normal.
Well, it's not normal, and it's not that you aren't, like, part of you isn't going, bloody hell, this is mad. But you just think, okay, I guess I have a mad life.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm always quite surprised where I end up in the things I end up doing. I just think, okay, well, keep going, you know. Because you never know. You never know. It's like ending up in Daredevil, like being in Daredevil was like, never thought I'd be in a show like that.
Yeah.
For example, you know.
Because of superheroes? Is that why?
I guess so. I guess.
Action. Well, you've been in fantasy and action stuff before.
But yeah, but Willow was kind of its own thing. Have I done that? Yeah, I don't know. And it's such a big deal to be in a Marvel show. It's like, now I understand. I didn't know when it all kind of happened, but
yeah, it's probably better
yeah.
Maybe it's better you don't
better
understand,
you don't know,
right?
Yeah, I think you just have to try and take things in your stride, you know.
Yeah, roll with the punches,
so
to speak,
and go with the flow.
Yeah. Do you have siblings?
I have 2 brothers.
Older, younger?
One of each.
One of each.
So
the
I'm
middle.
the girl in the middle.
I'm a middle child as well. Did you guys get along growing up?
Yeah.
Yeah? It's okay.
Yeah.
What did your parents do?
My dad was a plumber, and he had his own little business. And my mum didn't work
She was a mom.
for a long time. But then as we got a little older, she did various things. And she ended up working in the dean's office, I think it was, at the Manchester University.
Oh.
So before that she had various jobs here and there, and just
Miscellaneous.
Yeah.
Did they still together?
Mm-mm.
Oh, did they split up?
They did, and actually, unfortunately, my dad passed away a long time ago now.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, but they got married very, very young, and
Really?
they stayed together for 20-odd years. I mean, so they were together a long time.
Yeah. Like teenager type young, they got married. Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah.
But they were like, all right, well, let's have more.
Yeah.
So it worked out.
No, I mean,
to some degree.
They were together a long time, and they had a good run of it.
Yeah. How'd they meet? Do you remember how they met?
I think they were kids when they met. I mean, they were just in the same neighborhood.
Area. Oh, wow. Were they dating, or were they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were dating. So did you get along? So can I ask about your parents' separation, when they separated?
Mm-hmm.
What age you were?
I think I was probably 15, 16.
Okay, so you were old enough to know what was going on and stuff like that. Was it for the sometimes I ask people, when that happens to people, they say, oh, it's for the best. Or it was really hard for them, or whatever.
It's always sad when any relationship has run its course and that there seems to be no way they can stay together. But they really, they'd kind of grown up together.
Yeah.
And I think possibly if they'd met when they were older, they might not have got together.
Yeah.
Because they grew and their lives became quite different, I think.
Because when you're a kid, if you're a teenager, you're kind of a kid.
Well, absolutely. I don't think people grow up till, in your 30s, really.
Yeah, even then.
the time you get any sense.
Yeah.
Or even a little bit of sense.
But even then, you could still change.
And even then, yeah.
Take piano lessons and ballet, and
Exactly.
who knows? People are always morphing and evolving and stuff,
Well, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
That's the plan.
That's interesting. Did they maintain friendship afterwards?
They did. I think they had a kind of gear change period.
Mm-hmm.
But they did. They were great friends.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, can I ask where your dad passed from?
Just a complicated heart
Oh, really?
thing.
Hard stuff. I'm sorry to hear that. When did you start acting? Were you always an artist? Were they artists at all?
No.
At heart? No. Are you the only creative in your family?
I hesitate to say that because it's just that maybe I was the most determined one.
Mm-hmm.
They're all quite creative. I don't think any of them are not creative.
Okay.
It's just that I think maybe I was the one who thought that I could just do that.
Right.
And get away with it.
Yeah. Well, you have been.
Exactly.
You've been doing well. Because
Yeah.
you started pretty young, right?
Yeah, I
Didn't you
did.
start at like 13 or something?
Yeah.
What happened at 13? How does that even happen at 13?
Well, I used to watch all the old Hollywood movies. I used to love like all the black and white,
Oh, the old ones.
old movies. In England, when I was a kid, they used to show them on the weekends on TV.
Mm.
And there'd be one on a Saturday and one on a Sunday afternoon. And that was my thing. I'd be glued.
Who'd you love?
All of them.
All of them.
All of those actresses and all of those actors too. I just loved those movies. And that's what I wanted. And that was my thing.
Mm.
And so I guess I had a kind of weird notion of what it was to be an actor. But I thought that's what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I nagged and pestered and eventually...
your mom or your dad?
My mom.
Yeah.
Eventually, my mom found a place I could go once a week and take a drama class. And so I did that, and then Granada Television were casting for something, and so they came to this place because there were kids who were doing acting there, and they hired me, which was great because I got a job, and I also got an equity card, which
Wow.
at the time, it's very different now when you join Actors Equity, the union, but it was a long and elaborate process, and it was like a real coup and a thing to get your equity card because then you could always be hireable.
Yeah, you're
but
professional.
as a kid, there weren't that many kids, and so they kind of automatically gave you one if you got hired, which is not the case for grown-up actors.
Right.
Or wasn't the case. And so I got my equity card, and then I did that job, and then I started doing little jobs here and there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And your parents were supportive?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty more or less.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of... Yeah, no, they were. But what was interesting, I mean, I stayed at school. Nothing changed.
Right.
You
were in an all-girls school at one point. Was that around that time?
Yeah.
What was that like, just an all-girls?
I loved my school.
Yeah.
My school was great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I hated school.
Did you? I loved my school.
I hated every second of school growing up. It was so hard.
I didn't like maths.
You didn't like maths?
No. But I liked them. I liked being at school.
But it was a boarding school?
No, day school.
It was a day school.
Yeah.
So you got to go home and stuff. That's interesting. So then you kept acting, and then
I would do things here and there, and then I'd have to get time off school to do it.
Oh, wow, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's kind of
I guess.
Deal, right?
I guess it doesn't. Maybe. You just kind of do it though. When you're a kid, you don't. You just do it, and it's work. It's not like it wasn't glamorous or anything.
Right.
It wasn't quite what I was watching in those movies.
Right.
Was it hard work?
Did it affect your view of movie making once being so young and thinking it's going to be one way, and then you actually do it?
I don't remember thinking in those. Yeah, about it. Just did it.
And then when you're out of high school, college, do you go, oh, I'm going to go study?
No, because when I was in sixth form, which is you're like 17, 18, I got a TV series. So, of course, I went straight into that.
Which
I
one?
didn't
Which
go to.
one?
It was called A Kind of Loving.
Okay.
So I went off and did that.
Wow, that's cool.
And then, and I didn't have to go back to school because I was old enough.
Wow, that's...
And so I just kept working, really. I just kept working.
Kept working. Because you have a lot of credits on your IMDb page. That's not even including stage stuff. It's all TV and movies. 78 credits.
Do I really?
Yeah, I don't know if you know that.
No, I didn't.
78 credits.
See, I never think like that. I'm always like going that way.
Yeah. So it took me a while to go through all your credits and stuff.
Damn.
But and you've done a lot of theater.
Yeah, I did, and I did that. That's an absolute joy to do. But I had no clue about that because I'd done a bunch of English TV, and then I got hired at the Royal Court Theatre. And of course, being the idiot that I was, I had no clue about
how cool that was.
how amazing to get a job there.
Yeah.
I had no idea about the history of the place or just anything. I mean, I hardly had even seen plays. I never
really?
thought about it.
Oh, yeah, you're watching movies, I guess. You were more of a movie-watching person.
I don't know. Yeah, but we didn't have, like... It's not like you could watch anything like you can now.
Right,
we didn't have YouTube or...
Right.
You couldn't, you couldn't... Even if you had... you couldn't get discs, CDs,
Sure.
DVDs like you can now. You could, it wasn't that simple.
Yeah.
So I think I would just live in my head most of the time.
Oh, really?
I'd just, like, imagine
Did you ever draw or write?
No. No. But then when I got hired at the Royal Court, and that was a real shocker because I'd never learned a whole play.
Oh, interesting. Do you remember the play?
It was a double bill, and one of them was called Rita Sue and Bob 2. And the other one was called... I've forgotten. But it was a Young Writers Festival, which is a big deal, because that's their whole thing, is developing writers. I mean, all the important writers like Edward Bond, come out of the Royal Court. It's like all the Look Back in Anger, the whole new wave of British theatre originated there, and it's like, it's kind of hallowed ground, special place.
Yeah.
But of course, I'm like clueless. I go in like, what are we going to do with 4 weeks rehearsal? Because I'd never had a rehearsal in my life,
Right.
I didn't know.
The rehearsals in TV.
Well, if you
takes
get
like
one,
30 seconds.
If you get one, and also I'd never learned a whole play because you know what it's like. You get like
your sides,
and you're out of sequence most of the time.
Yeah.
And anyway, they're going to change it.
Yeah.
So you like, You
learn it 5 minutes.
So
before.
really, I mean, I had always functioned just on my instincts, just on, okay, that's what the job is, just do it. And it was a real shock to have a rehearsal period and work on writing that has to stand up to being on stage every night. I mean, that's, a good play is an amazing beast.
Yeah, I love theatre.
I just did with LA Theatre Works here, was it last week? The week before. I just did The Little Foxes, the Lillian Hellman play.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know LA Theatre Works. Have you ever seen any of their stuff or heard it?
I've heard of it. Maybe
what
I've
they
seen
do
it,
is
sure.
they do this.
I wish I had known. I'd go see you.
Yeah, I should have. I know I'm so bad at letting people know things.
No, it's okay.
But what they do is you get together on the Monday. It's cast. You go in on the Monday. You read through the play, probably twice. You get through it, and then on the Tuesday you have to kind of figure out the mics and you go through it and work on it in sections.
Oh, it's like a stage reading.
Exactly.
Yes, I have seen.
You have the book, and then you tech it with the Foley guy. The guy comes to do the sound effects and all of that, and his music cues and this, that, and the other.
It's pretty awesome.
You get into the theatre and then you tech it, and then next night you're on. And you have live audiences, and you'll do maybe 5 or 6 shows live, and they'll use one as the master.
Yeah.
And then they'll supplement it in case you were fluffing or you dropped your script or fell off the stage or something. Whatever.
It's great for just audibly. You could just listen to it.
It's so incredible. I know because I've watched them. When you're up there holding the book, you think, how is this going to be? But when you sit in the audience, it's amazing the visual that is created.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
It's it is an engagement with the audience that creates you see the play.
Yeah.
And but every time I do a play, I'm just in awe of great writing, how it holds and stands up to that scrutiny, and a play that it becomes. I mean, this is a great American classic, The Little Foxes. It's amazing. A classic. You see why people revisit and revisit and revisit, and you can perform it for night after night after night and keep finding things and keep finding things. And it's great writing is it's such a gift and a pleasure.
What's the longest you ever spent on a play? that
You mean like doing a run?
Yeah. Do you remember?
I haven't ever done a long run. Probably.
A few months.
Yeah, a couple of months.
When you did that first experience.
Yeah, that was a shock.
That was a shock. And then
I was so physically exhausted and just talking loud.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to talk loud.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Right.
I had to kind of talk about, getting a kind of thrown in at the deep end.
It feels kind of unnatural to be loud on stage when you're just trying to talk to the person in front of you, right? Doesn't it feel
Well, no,
like,
it makes sense when you're. It makes sense when you're on a stage because you're on a stage. Like you have to do it. Someone's in a on a set. It would feel really weird.
Yeah.
But it makes sense on the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
Did you get nervous?
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, a live audience, and also just doing the play all the way through was like a revelation. Because when we shoot, it's all over the place. It's little bits here and there.
And it takes forever.
And to go through the whole journey, it's amazing. It's like, they let you out the trapdoor and you're off.
Yeah.
And you go through the whole thing. I mean, it's exhilarating sometimes.
You're on your own, You're pretty much on your own.
Yeah.
In the time
but
takes...
there's no, can we do that bit again?
Yeah.
There's none of that.
In a day of filming Daredevil, you could do like 4 plays. straight through, you can do like 4 plays.
It is exhilarating.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Well,
and fun. It's so much fun too.
Yeah.
You forget how much fun it is. And also it's fascinating because you have that immediate engagement with the audience. How a show can change from one night to the next.
Yeah.
Depending on who's in. What kind of audience they are, you think, oh, they're picking up on all this stuff tonight. And,
yeah.
It's really it's very alive,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
very.
Do you have any memories of an audience doing something, heckling or falling asleep?
No, but doing this is because it's so fresh. Just doing for the LA Theatre Works, doing the Little Foxes. I play Regina, and who is she has a kind of ruthless streak. And there's this fabulous moment where you think, is she really going to do that? And just hearing the audience go, like that was such a thrill. It was hilarious. They go,
That's great.
I know, it was so fun.
I'm sorry that for Daredevil season 3 there was no premiere, like a premiere party or viewing or anything like that, because you would have gotten to hear some of that for the first.
Yeah, it's funny because you don't
episodes.
get feedback in the same way.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's so funny. Yeah, I love theater. Do you get to see a lot of theater? Do you go to
From time to time? I do. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I have kind of phases of it.
And your kids, they're musical. Do they have any interest in acting?
They do a bit. Yeah, they dabble.
Yeah.
They do a little bit here and there.
Their parents are actors. So.
Yeah.
It feels natural that their kids would follow suit. Or it'd be the opposite.
Or the opposite.
No,
yeah.
I don't want anything to do with it. I want an office job with a cubicle and a stapler.
They don't. They're not going to... I won't be finding them there. No.
Where are they in the States?
Yeah, one's here in LA and the other one's in New York.
Okay, cool. So you get you're in New York sometimes.
Yep.
Daredevil filmed in
and
New York.
you know what it's like. They back and forwards.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
So you get to see them pretty often.
Oh yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What are you doing for the holidays?
Dinner
Dinner here in LA?
Dinner in LA. Yeah.
Your kid coming from New York? Or?
I'm hoping so. Yeah.
Okay. Do you cook?
I do.
What are you gonna cook?
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to do a turkey.
Okay.
It's Thanksgiving, right?
Thanksgiving and Christmas is coming up too.
Yeah, see, for English people, it's a bit tricky because we do turkeys at Christmas because we don't have Thanksgiving. So I can't. Well, you can't have 2 turkeys.
You can't have 2 turkeys?
No, it's too close. So Christmas, we always try and cook something that we haven't done before. Like,
okay. Oh,
try to, be a bit of a risk taker.
Such as?
Like beef Wellington or something like that.
That's a favorite.
Yeah.
That's a favorite. I like Gordon Ramsay.
Goose or something like.
Goose. That's interesting.
Yeah, because we always have to kind of take a risk.
Yeah.
At Christmas.
Do you have a favorite chef?
My mum.
Oh, your mom?
Yeah.
She still cooks?
She's a really good cook, yeah.
Where is she?
Yeah, and my stepdad, actually. He's a pretty damn good cook.
She remarried?
Yeah, they live in Cambridgeshire.
Did she have any more kids?
No.
No. Cambridge, so you don't get to see her that often, probably.
No, actually, but they're coming out for Christmas.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's a long flight.
Yeah, but
That's a long trip.
you know what? You get so used to
Yeah.
if you have a reason to go back to London a lot, you're so used to that. You know, for me now, it's like it's like taking a cab. Like you
Really?
get in, and you get off when it stops. And I quite like the in between because you get to read or catch up with a bunch of films that you didn't see, or
Right.
you know, just turn your phone off.
So that's nice, I guess.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
yeah.
So
I don't mind like traveling.
and going back to your singing, you were in The Singing Detective.
I was.
That's pretty cool. I never got to see it, but they tried to redo it here, and it did not go well.
I can't imagine that anyone could ever remake that. That was a really Michael Gambon is extraordinary.
Yeah,
in that.
he's a great actor.
But you know, Dennis Potter was an amazing writer.
Hmm.
Dennis Potter was. I mean, The Singing Detective. It really was a groundbreaker. I mean, no one had seen anything like that.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
It's also. Did you know that filming it, you were like, "This is really good," or does it feel too different?
You know, I thought I liked it, but then I'm not a great projector of anything. I just kind of I'm not very results oriented, I guess.
You don't know what's gonna be like.
But don't worry about it.
It's
If
better
I
if you
like
don't.
it,
Yeah,
if
that's
I'm
all it's
having a
important.
good time, then it's fantastic.
Yeah. You don't want to be worrying about stuff.
So I kind of don't care. I mean, I do care. I do care because
Yeah.
you want people to appreciate all that work, that everyone's great work, and it's great when people get it too, but it's really not the outcome of anything that I ever think about. I actually just really like my job.
That's really good. What if you weren't an actor? What do you think you would end up doing?
I'd be an actor. If I was an
Your
actor,
backup
I'd
job
be
is an
like,
actor?
It's my backup job, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that would be it.
My backup job is to be an actor in different movies.
Yeah.
Something like that. That's pretty good. Oh, yeah. I found a piece of... this was interesting in the research I did. You did a thing for a band that I loved, Blink-182.
Yeah.
And you did...
How mad is that?
It's really crazy.
Well, this is like I have the maddest life. Like you get a phone call and they say, "Do you want to go and do this thing with Blink-182?" And I'm like, "Who are they? What is that?"
They're a punk band.
So I say to the kids, "Blink-182," and they go, "Mom, you've got to do it." I'm like, "Okay, sounds good to me." So then I show up in some recording studio here in town. The guys were fantastic. I had the best day in the studio with those guys.
Oh, wow.
And I had an absolute ball.
That's cool that you got
but-
to meet them because...
Yeah, no, we were in the studio.
You just read... I don't know who wrote the
It was
piece that
Mark's
you had.
grandmother's letter
Oh,
to
interesting.
to his grandfather,
Wow.
who was in the war.
Wow.
And you know, they were all there in the studio, and there was the track that they put it to, and I read it to the music, and we played with it, and you know, it was so fun.
It's awesome, and I just re-listened to it yesterday because I had that album.
I love
so I've
that
listened
band
to it
now.
a million times. It's a great band. I've seen them live a bunch of times, and it's funny reading that and going, what did she do? So I went back and listened to it. I'm like, that's her. And I didn't know that. I've been listening to it for like 20 years.
You know, one of my huge regrets is that they did a big live show and they asked me to do it live with them, and I was filming in bloody Budapest or somewhere, and I couldn't go. I couldn't do it. I was heartbroken that I couldn't do it.
That's a bummer.
That would have been such a fun night.
That would have been great. They still tour, although one of the guys, maybe Mark, isn't in the band anymore, or is it the other guy?
I don't know.
I forget.
I don't know. But you see what I mean? Like things come in and you never...
Just they just called you out of the blue.
Random madness.
That is random.
Yeah.
I wonder why they chose you. Did they say why they chose you?
I don't know. I don't care either.
I mean, you have a lovely voice.
Yeah.
You have a lovely voice. Did they ask you
I
to
was
sing?
meant to do it for some reason. It just...
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That is so funny. So what do you listen to these days? You said classical, but what else do you listen to? Other stuff like modern stuff.
So I'm so sorry, my stomach's rumbling.
Are you okay? You hungry?
I am a bit actually. Yeah.
I have cheese sticks.
I think I might have a protein bar in my trusty backpack.
You could eat it if you want to.
What am I listening to? I listen to all kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite fickle, and I jump around.
On the way here, did you have anything playing? Is it just a radio, or do you?
No, I didn't have anything.
Nothing at all. All right. That's fair. Abbey Road, I'm going through your stuff.
Actually, let me find my protein bar. I have it right.
Get that protein bar. This is funny. So you were in Pink Floyd The Wall, but I know you some
I'm not
stuff.
really. I just kind of
you're a groupie or something.
I'm a groupie.
It says.
I'm groupie number 1.
That's still
2.
pretty cool because I used to watch that all the time as a teenager. I loved Pink Floyd. It was my first concert, Pink Floyd.
Really?
My very first concert at 18. Do you remember your first concert?
No.
No. That's okay. Did you ever see Pink Floyd live? They were very good. They were very good. You were also in A Christmas Carol, but again, had
a small role
in that. Did you get
with George C. Scott though?
You did have to interact with him. What was he like?
He was fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, he was very larger than life.
Yeah, I bet. He's Patton.
Yeah.
Ebenezer and Patton. I mean, those are some. You got to be pretty large to fill those shoes, you know. Did you guys talk or just?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember him being really nice.
Really nice. Wow, that's great. The Good Father. Oh, you were in The Good Father, Anthony Hopkins and Jim Broadbent. Did you get to interact with those guys at all? Yeah.
I was the mistress. Hopkins was amazing. He's a really good. He's brilliant, actually. Impersonator. He can just be anyone.
Mimic. Yeah.
He's incredible.
Was he doing that on set?
I remember laughing so much with him. Yeah.
Was he flirting with you or something?
He was just. He's very intense, and he was just so exciting to work with.
Yeah, he's got a lot of energy, right? Even lately, he put up on Twitter or something a video of himself dancing maniacally, just really strange, just a really random weird.
He was just feeling it.
Yeah, he was just feeling it, and he was holding it wasn't even set down or anything. He was holding the phone, and just going around and stuff.
It just felt like dancing.
Felt like dancing. It was super
Good
funny.
for him.
He's an interesting dude. Singing Detective, 6 episodes. I gotta find that. I gotta watch that. I want to see that. Willow. See, that's where I know you from. Is Willow? It's Saoirse. Well, and you worked with great Ron Howard, and that's a George Lucas story. That's a big deal. Did you feel the importance of that going into it? With all those big names and stuff? That's a no. Is that a no?
No, I did. I kind of did, but I was also, I think I was doing The Three Sisters at the time.
Oh, okay.
The Chekhov.
Yeah.
I remember learning fight sequences and doing fittings and riding practice and all kinds of willowy stuff, and then going to the theatre at night. And so you do. I guess it's very weird, because I don't think.
You didn't project. You're right.
Backwards,
yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, I thought it was a big deal. I guess.
Were you familiar with Ron Howard? Was he big in the UK? I mean, he was big here for the last 15 years at that point.
Yeah, I mean, people say, "Oh, it's Ron Howard," and you go, oh, "Okay."
Is that his name?
No. Then you find out, and you find out who you're working with, and that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, you got to do the work. It's not about anything else.
Yeah, I get.
So I don't know. I don't know what's the matter with me.
No, it's probably nothing.
It's not that you aren't really amazed that you got this amazing job.
Yeah.
But then
It's just a job, right?
But then that quickly becomes it's the job.
Yeah.
So that becomes all consuming for me.
Yeah.
It's not, and that's where that's where my head is. It's not about any of the other stuff.
Do you get jobs that make you like excited? That you get,
Always.
Like, okay.
I'll get excited by every job.
By the role, mostly by the role, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by people. If it's someone I've always wanted to work with, you just get like, oh, I can't wait.
Can you give me a name?
So many people. I've worked with like amazing people.
Yeah. A lot of people.
Amazing people.
Wait, so who would you like to work with that you haven't?
There's,
Give me one
how
name.
long have you got?
One name.
Too many.
There's too many.
Too many. There's some amazing
Meryl Streep.
actors out there. There's some amazing. Too many to name.
Yeah. What kind of protein bar are you eating? What is that?
RX, it's called.
Is it good? What flavor?
It's an RX bar. It's coconut.
Coconut? Oh no, you lost me at coconut.
I love coconut.
So Willow had a lot of special effects. It was a very big movie. If nobody's seen it, I highly recommend going to see it. It's so fun. Was that weird, like doing all? Because you've never done that before at that point,
No,
right?
That was
Just
kind of
dragons and stuff.
amazing
Yeah,
to see how they do all that stuff.
yeah,
And, it was a big production. We had, like, multiple units on that,
okay. Like
so there'd be A camera, B camera, C camera, D camera.
Really? Wow, just trying to get whatever.
Just because it was huge.
Yeah.
And then we shot in New Zealand for all that time.
Ooh, I love New Zealand.
Mm.
North Island or South Island?
We were on the South Island.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't get there, but I hear it's beautiful.
It's stunning. It's like prehistoric, unspoiled, this amazing landscape. And we shot in Wales.
Oh, Wales.
Yeah, in a big quarry place.
Oh, no kidding.
All kind of shale. And remember that where they hid the horses? And the horses come out of the ground.
That's so funny, because New Zealand is so far from Wales. They couldn't pick her further
we were
out
up
of it.
mountains in New Zealand too. All that snow stuff was New Zealand.
Yeah, wow.
I remember one night, toward the end of a shooting day, that looked like a storm was coming in. They had to get us off the mountain. These helicopters, they get them off.
Because of danger or something?
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's scary.
Yeah.
Were you freaked out?
Not really.
No, right? You're like, whatever, I can take it. I worked with Anthony
I
Hopkins.
thought it was exciting.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you were a punk rocker, so you're like, bring it. I could do
I'm
anything.
just like, I'm up for it. Like, I just like working, and I like all the madnesses. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just like, I just love my job.
Well, as an actor, you don't know. I mean, there's so many.
You never
it's
know.
always different.
You never know.
It's constantly different.
Well, imagine getting a phone call and saying, go to the studio and do this thing with Blink 182, for example.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
How do you plan for that? How do you... I'm like,
so
okay, great. Let's
That's-
do it.
What was Ron? I hear Ron Howard's the nicest guy in the
Ron,
world.
Ron,
Right.
I think is now officially the nicest guy.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be
Probably
fun.
has been for a long time.
That'd be
No,
fun
he's
to
lovely.
work.
But, he's no... he's sharp, too. I mean, he's not, like... Just because he's the nicest man in the world
Yeah.
doesn't mean... He's, like, brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah.
I've been a fan since Happy Days.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe even earlier, Andy Griffith, I probably watched that. I mean, I wasn't around, but I mean, they reran it and stuff. I watched all that stuff when I was a kid. And you met Val Kilmer,
I did.
who I've always been a big fan of since, like, Real Genius. Ever see Real Genius?
I did.
It's a great movie. It's so fun.
People love that movie.
I love that movie.
I know.
I know, like, today's standards, it's totally, like, misogynistic and everything, probably, but it's still, like, a lot of fun.
People love that movie.
Me too. Did you guys hit it off right away?
Yeah.
Yeah, more or less?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know, remember they were saying, there's this guy, and I think he's in a movie called Top Gun.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, what? What's that?
What's that? Is it a Western?
Yeah. Southwestern. So I didn't have any clue. And also,
Yeah.
I'm busy with the Chekhov.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, whatever.
You're a
Great.
theater actor now.
Well, I'm not just that,
Kinda.
kind of. I was like, yeah, that sounds great. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Ron Howard, yeah, that's whatever.
I didn't really know. I didn't really realize that it was such a big deal, or that he had done Real Genius and Top Gun. And I didn't,
He was kind of getting to be a big deal,
Yeah.
and he was the lead of this movie, a big budgeted movie.
but we got on really well, obviously.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. I mean, I didn't have any. It was nothing. It wasn't based on anything except I was getting on well.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Did you start dating during the movie or after?
Kind of toward the end.
Toward the end.
Because
That's for the best.
yeah.
Yeah, you
I
don't
think
want to.
so.
You don't want something to happen in the beginning, then you break up, and then it's a mess. You know, and then.
But we had good chemistry.
You have 2 kids out of it. You have 2 great kids out of it.
We do.
And then you did a couple movies after that together too.
Yeah.
So you guys were very good on. Were they ever talking about a sequel to Willow? Did they ever mention a sequel? They could have.
I hear whispers from time to time.
Oh,
but-
still?
Yeah. More actually, only recently. I hadn't heard any for a long time,
Oh, really?
but I've only recently heard whispers about it.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Doing a sequel now. That's interesting. That'd be,
But who knows?
Yeah.
That might be just someone
Yeah.
who wants to see one.
Yeah, I probably started it.
I probably, could
Did you start it
one,
too? Would you do a sequel
I would actually, yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, absolutely.
with Val? I mean, you guys
Sure,
get on okay?
Absolutely.
All right, that's nice.
Yeah.
Because I noticed that 10 years after you guys split off, you did a movie together.
Mm-hmm.
So that was nice to see that you guys still
Yeah.
like get along and stuff. You raise kids and everything, all that stuff. That's nice. That doesn't always happen.
No, I think it's a shame.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Does he like coconut?
But I think, yeah. But I think it's that thing of, I mean, maybe because my parents, I saw them do their gear change.
Mm.
Just because your relationship isn't one thing anymore. We still have a relationship.
Yeah, especially with kids, right?
Especially.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys get married pretty quickly after you met or started dating? Do you
Yeah,
think it
probably.
just was too quick?
No.
Was it a shotgun?
No.
Just joking.
No shotgun.
I'm just kidding.
No. I think it was perfect timing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all
it was
the
fantastic.
yeah chemistry and love and all that stuff. That's nice. I look at like Ariana.
We had a great wedding too.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Where was it?
In Santa Fe.
What was great about it? I mean, other than
It was
weddings, are usually
just,
great.
I think we both laughed all day. It was such fun.
Oh, that's
We had
nice.
a mad group of people. We were married by the Reverend Jay Spoonheim,
Oh yeah, Jay.
who
Yeah, I
had
know.
cowboy boots under his robes. And we had mariachis and we had lowriders and just so much fun.
That sounds
It
great.
was a great day.
How many people? Do you remember?
It wasn't massive. It was probably like 40.
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah.
small.
Yeah.
That's pretty small, actually. Well, that does sound
And
like
it was
fun.
just an absolute joy. I remember I danced with every single guest.
Oh, well, there's only 4.
And it was so fun.
That sounds really nice.
Mm.
You never remarried?
Mm-mm.
On purpose?
No.
It just nobody ever popped the question?
Well, not one I wanted to answer.
Okay, that's a yes. But so are you seeing anybody now? You have a boyfriend or anything? A little
Maybe
bit?
I do, maybe I don't.
Okay. All right. Maybe you're on the market. Maybe you're not.
Maybe I'm not.
Did you ever do? Deborah and I met online. Did you ever
Did
do?
you?
Yeah. Did you ever do online dating? It's probably well.
I'm not very good with the online in general.
Yeah. Technology
Although
stuff.
I love it, but I don't really. I love the ease of things
Yeah.
now, and the availability of things. I love it for research and
Oh yeah.
communications and all that. But I'm not at all inclined to have a Facebook account, and I have no desire to be tweeting anything.
You want to tweet about this great podcast you're doing?
I don't have an
You
account.
do that. You can do that.
I don't have an account.
It's okay.
So I feel a bit conflicted about it because I think it's turning. I think people consider themselves as brands now,
Right.
and I think that
They are.
that it's just a lot of self promotion, which is great, but it kind of turns me off in a way, because if I want to go shopping, I'll go shopping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think the lines are so blurred between one's personal life and persona, and even for people who are not in this business. I mean, it's just everyone has a brand.
Mm.
And I don't know how, in the big picture, if it's making people particularly happy either.
Yeah.
You know, where it's going with how people actually do communicate now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of research.
So it's a bit worrying.
Yeah, there's a lot of research going on that people are addicted to it. It's making things stressful and all that stuff. It does make things easier, but it also makes things...
I mean, it's like, it's the
things.
classic, it's a curse and a blessing.
Yeah.
It's the most incredible tool that we have. This technology is phenomenal for a million reasons.
Yeah.
It's it's amazing. And on the other hand, you know, how is it used on a daily basis?
People always find a way to make a dark side out of something.
And just, you know, its influence on how we get our news now, and all of that. You know, politics. It's a huge effect that we're starting to get to grips with, but I don't think we can actually appreciate just what a game changer in the way the world is working. You know, that the internet has had on everything.
It's changed the world. Just so my listeners know, maybe you can't hear it, but they can probably hear my dog snoring a little bit.
Yes, that's not me. That's not me. The snoring is not me.
My dogs are sleeping right next to us, basically. So I'm like, in my ear thing, I'm like, I'm here.
Don't you love that? I love that sound.
I do too.
I know.
I do too.
I
And I love it when they dream. They're
yeah. But the snoring, snoring's lethal for me, because if you get on the sofa and the dog's close by, or even on the sofa with you snoring, I instantly go to sleep.
Really? Oh,
it's
that's
like
funny.
The best thing if you need to fall asleep. Just,
and you have a pit bull, right?
I do.
How old?
She must be 7.
In rescue.
Yeah.
How old when you got her?
About 1.
About when she had her 6 years. What's her name?
Claudia.
Claudia. Did you get her with that name, or you name her?
No, my daughter got her off the street in New York.
Oh, New York.
Yeah, and she named her Claudia.
Okay, and then your daughter
of course,
kept her.
I end up with the dog.
Mom, I'm adopting a dog. Can you take care of her? Is that how it went?
Kind of.
Yeah, that's how it went.
Not quite. No, not quite, but almost.
And then the dog has to get here. So how do you get the dog here?
The dog flew.
Flew? Wow, that's scary.
Yeah, because she has wings. No, she doesn't. She flew on I forget which airline.
My dogs flew from Puerto Rico.
Really?
Yeah, after the hurricanes last year, they flew 12 hours from Puerto Rico, then to Dallas for a changeover, then over to Los Angeles,
Wow,
LAX.
that's a long flight.
It's a long flight. I was so scared for them.
They're okay, though.
They were okay. They were actually pretty good. I was surprised. And they were like 5 months, 6 months when I got them.
Oh.
Yeah, they were street dogs. Some homeless guy had them, and then before the hurricanes hit, apparently he tied them off to a fence or something and left them. And then they got picked up by a rescue, and they were posting things, and I saw it, and I said, all right, I'll take them. Because I felt so bad, that whole Puerto Rico thing. I just felt so terrible.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's election day.
Oh, yeah.
You looking forward to tomorrow?
Yes.
Are you voting? You're a citizen, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah, I mean, you know, the world is so crazy right now.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even begin. I have no words. I don't. I have no words. I try and read the newspapers to stay current, and I'm like, the world is insane.
No, it's crazier. You did a movie about dragons, and this world is crazier than that.
This world is much crazier than that.
It'll be my first midterms that I vote in. It'll be the first time I vote in a midterm.
Why is that?
I've never. I didn't take politics that seriously, and I only started voting in my 30s, and now I'm a lot more aware of how important politics are.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I try to research things. I feel like I'm way behind on my uneducated, how uneducated I am about politics. And then it's such a clusterfuck. Excuse my language.
I'm right there with you.
It's such a clusterfuck that I'm like, oh my god, how did we let this get so bad?
It's very interesting because like the old ways, the old systems, don't work anymore because the internet gets in the way, and people can mobilize groups and voices and of dissent against anything they don't, like. I mean. So quickly now. And so nothing works in the way that it ever did. The spin thing doesn't work in the same way. Because everyone's doing it. That's, we have the whole fake news thing and all of that. I mean, it's very, very, very difficult to take a clear line through. Because nothing functions like it used to. We have an expectation of how our politics should be presented to us and the kind of honour of the position and but it's just like a big filthy free-for-all right now, and they disgust me.
Yeah.
And the level of debate is appalling, and the personal attacks and the degradation of the institution, the kind of the process of debating and the honour of it. It has none left.
Were you political?
There are no statesmen anymore.
Yeah.
Or women. There are no who are the ones I don't know. They're all scumbags, as far as I'm concerned. I don't see anyone that I can. Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. Bernie's a good guy.
Both sides of the water for me, because I keep an eye on.
Yeah.
The UK too, obviously. Bernie Sanders has the most integrity in a politician that I've come across in a long time, I think. Yeah.
He's a good dude.
For real, I think he's real.
Yeah. Have you always been political or keeping an eye on politics?
I'm not... I guess I keep an eye, but I'm not...
political, per se.
No, because I believe in personal politics. I mean, I think I'm a bit more Buddhist about life. I think if you take responsibility for your own self, and the people that you affect that come into your life and your environment, and you do good there, then that has if everyone does that, then everyone's happy,
Sure.
And I think probably that's, part of the problem is that we have such big politics now. We have the global concerns and global markets and global. I mean, it's too big.
There's a lot of money.
It's too big because the small the humanity, the communities, on a smaller level, it's lost because everything has to be global now. And I feel the same with a lot of the politicians who seek to represent our interests. In an earlier time, the model was that a lot of the politicians would come through the community and emerge as a natural voice for their community, and carry that role forward. And now we have a lot of academics who go and read about politics and study political theory. And, well, we all know what is necessarily a great theory doesn't actually play out in the real world, because then you've got human beings involved and real life. It's all very well having a theory. And, and I think we're suffering the consequence, because I feel there's a big disconnect between what's happening in politics in general and then in communities. There's a huge disconnect.
Yeah.
Which is probably why we're in the state we're in now.
Yeah. Well, hopefully tomorrow
We'll see.
some nice things will happen, because it's a pretty
We'll see.
groundbreaking election, even no matter what the outcome is, because
Mm-hmm.
of other people that are running, all the women and people of color and gay and trans and stuff like that. So it's bad that it took this long, and it took Trump to make it happen. But at least it's something, right?
Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
I'm not holding my breath, though.
Don't hold your breath. You've got protein bar in it, so don't don't hold your breath. So all right, so I went down all your IMDb credits, and I cherry picked some of them to ask you about. The next one is Scandal, with John Hurt, Ian McKellan, Bridget Fonda. Ian McKellan is one of my favorites. He's pretty spectacular, right? Please tell me he's as spectacular as I think he is.
Fantastic.
Yeah? Okay, good. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
He seems super funny.
He's a lot of fun.
Yeah, he seems like a lot of fun. But also like a professional and dynamic actor and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the above.
it's all of the above. All of the above.
You guys get on okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. Okay, so Kill Me Again you did with Val. Was it fun at that point? You guys are married. Was it different? Like in the Willow, you guys were like not married or even dating till the end. But now you guys are married and have a life together. Was it different? Was it like a different experience? No dragons.
I loved that script. That was such a fun job to work on. No, it was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really fun doing that. And of course we had the fabulous Michael Madsen.
Oh yeah, Michael Madsen. He's pretty fun.
Oh, yeah.
He was cool back then.
Oh, absolutely.
I might be intimidated by him because he's super cool and very intense, right? He seems like a really intense dude to me.
Yeah,
But maybe
the thing that I guess for me, because I started doing things when I was quite young.
Yeah.
I guess, and it was only ever presented to me in a way that, okay, you're going to do that, and then you do this, and you do that, and you say that to him, and kind of
Very
whoever it
matter of
is.
fact.
So I guess that's always kind of stayed with me.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, very matter of fact.
So you just, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would have an expectation of Michael to be intimidating.
Mm.
And I know, I think he's a great actor.
Yeah.
I had such fun with him. I remember being trapped in a car. We were sat in this bloody car for hours. And we were singing some mad... What was that bloody song?
Is it a Blink-182 song?
No, it was like some old 50s song
That's funny.
that he had a liking for at the time.
Do you keep in touch?
You know, I see him once in a blue moon.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
cool.
But I do. And so I guess, I don't know, I guess I'm quite used to going into things with, okay, here we are, this is what we're doing, do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I don't worry about the other stuff.
Yeah, that's good. Who's your favorite Batman? It's a silly question.
Who was the one on TV with the kapow?
Adam West?
Adam West.
Adam West, there you go. Up there.
Val is my second one.
Up there.
Val's my second
Val's your
favorite.
second?
Yeah, but
Val
Adam
was,
West.
Val was good.
I thought he was a really good Batman.
And I liked the one he was in, even though it was Schumacher's first one. But I loved Jim Carrey in it.
Yeah.
Loved Jim Carrey in it. And I
Yeah.
thought Uma Thurman was really good in it.
Yeah. No, Val was a good Batman.
Yeah. Was she in the fourth one? I forget. Okay. Navy SEALs. Navy SEALs with Charlie Sheen
Yeah.
and Bill Paxton. I love Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Bill Paxton. I always hear great things about Bill Paxton
He was
whenever somebody worked with him.
lovely.
Yeah. Charlie Sheen. Is he okay?
Yeah. Remember him and Michael Biehn.
Oh yeah, Michael Biehn, Terminator.
And Rick Rossovich.
I don't know him. It's you and a bunch of boys. Was that okay? Were you?
Yeah,
You all
I
get
had two
on?
brothers when I was like,
Oh.
no sweat.
Okay.
Like boys.
true.
Yeah.
Crossing the Line with Liam Neeson. I don't know this movie, but it sounds awesome.
Liam plays it's set in Scotland, and he's a boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was I forgot. That was I like that film.
Yeah. And Billy Connolly. Billy
Connolly.
Connolly.
You know,
I love Billy Connolly.
So I play someone Scottish in it, and I'm like, okay, do you think it's possible? Like, you know, my first day shooting, like I can just kind of ease in with the accent because we're in Scotland and there's other Scottish actors, or you know, and you feel a little self-conscious about your accent in the beginning till you get used to doing it out loud in front of people. And they're like, yeah, you know, we'll just. So I'm thinking I'm gonna ease in, and then before I ever get to do a scene with Billy Connolly. So my first day, what do I have to do? A scene with Billy Connolly, who's the most famous Scotsman ever.
Yeah, right. And hilarious. He's also hilarious.
Yeah, I remember chasing him down the street with a pen at one point.
Why?
It's in the story.
Oh, it's in the. I think you just did it on your own.
No.
That's hilarious.
Because he deserved it. That's why.
Did he?
He was fun. He was so fun.
Was he cool with your accent? Did he?
Yeah.
He was alright. He said, "Good job."
Yeah.
That's so funny. Well, you know, I've noticed you do a lot of, or you've ended up doing a lot of, especially kind of recently, religious-based material.
Yeah, that's kind of...
Just by coincidence?
Absolutely.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were choosing stuff like that, you know.
I did AD, and then I just did that Apostle Paul.
Yeah.
And we shot in Malta. Right before, I think I was doing that when Daredevil came up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did a few things. I wrote down a few things. Are you religious yourself? Do you have a religion that you... No.
No.
That's interesting. So how do you...
Although
go ahead.
I was, I guess, christened into the Church of England, which is a Protestant affair. But then I ended up going to convent school. Oh, yeah. So I went to school with, you know, as a Catholic, but I'm not a Catholic either.
But your
I was
parents
christened
were.
for my... No. I was christened for my grandmother's sake because she, you know, would keep the grandparents happy. And and then I went to the convent because it was the best school.
Okay, good education there.
Good education.
Okay, interesting. But your parents weren't really religious. Okay.
My dad used to say we were heathens.
Was it his mother they were
There's
appeasing?
a Manchester sense of humour.
Yeah. Whose grandmother?
His.
His his mother. That's funny. Shattered. Oh, I like that movie. I remember that movie when I was a kid. Wolfgang Peterson director, Bob Hoskins, and Greta Scacchi, who was the mother of Vincent D'Onofrio,
Yes.
and Greta had a child together, which is pretty cool. There's a connection there. It's all kind of incestual, right? The whole business is like, you know, you meet everybody. How was Bob Hoskins? I just love Bob Hoskins. Was he all right?
It's a diamond.
Yeah, really? Oh, that's nice to hear. He passed, right? He passed, yeah. Sorry to hear that. Is it hard, you know, being in the business for 40 years or something? You meet a lot of people. I'm not even in the business technically, but I'm an improviser, and I've met hundreds of people and stuff like that, and I've lost a few friends in the last, you know, several years and stuff. Is it hard every time you hear somebody you knew or worked with that passes?
Well, you always, because I mean, I've had the great good fortune to work with so many amazing people. You know, and just certain people, when they're gone, their energies or their light has gone from the world, you know, and it's such a loss for the world. And so, yeah, it's always a sadness.
Yeah.
And even people who I haven't worked with that I admire, and they pass or whatever, and you think, oh.
Me too. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it a lot. It sucks. Storyville with James Spader and Jason Robards. How was that? I love James Spader. I think he's great. Jason Robards too. Those guys were great. Good.
Fabulous.
Any stories though? Nothing. It's okay if you don't. That's okay if you don't have stories. Did you see the new Halloween movie?
No.
With Jamie Lee Curtis? But you got to work with Jamie Lee Curtis.
I did.
That's my segue.
Yeah.
in Mother's Boys.
Yeah.
With
Jamie's great, actually. I ended up, our kids were in the same school at one point, and she's fabulous. I mean, she's brilliant on the PTA. If you ever need someone to whip the PTA into shape.
Really? I can see that.
Jamie.
She's got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. That's cool. And Peter Gallagher, and I noticed that you did a couple things with Peter Gallagher along the way. Have you guys maintained any friendship or anything?
Well, really. It's very weird because it's not that you're not friends.
Right.
But you all get sent off into such different paths. But then it's like you do literally pick up again where you left off almost.
You see each other.
It's like...
What a weird... I mean,
it's very weird...
It's like nomads. You guys are like nomads or grifters or something.
I know.
What I didn't know going through your resume here is there was a sequel to Gone with the Wind.
Yep.
And you were in Scarlet, which was a TV movie.
Yep.
And you played Scarlett O'Hara.
I did.
Oh, is that the Southern Belle coming out? How are you with accents? Do you have to like study them and practice them a lot?
Yeah, I mean, everyone does.
Yeah. Did you watch the original Gone with the Wind to try to...
I tried not to watch it.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't want to like think about my beloved Vivian Leigh. I didn't want to have her in my head. But of course, obviously, I must have seen that movie a million times when I was a kid.
Yeah. And Timothy Dalton played Rhett. It's so funny.
Rhett Butler.
Like two British people playing
funnily
Southern Americans.
Funnily enough, that there's more in common than you would think.
Yeah.
There's a kind of formality in that old Southern culture.
That's true.
Which is very much from Europe. It's very conscious of its British and French heritage. And they have a different way of formulating their sentences, for example, which is much more akin to the way a British person would speak or a French person. They're a person from another part of America, they're speaking in a much more direct manner. And in the South, they're much more... it's more musical, it's more complex. They play with the words more. The way they arrange their sentences is more complicated. There's a lot of double negatives, and it's just it's very much. It's not as far away from European, particularly English, as you might think, and also something about the rhythms and the musicality.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think of that. Very good. When I first met you a couple weeks ago at New York Comic Con.
Oh, yeah.
How'd you like doing that?
I had no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
And
because you've never done one before. I really liked it.
No,
right?
I haven't. I haven't done anything like that. And I thought it's going to be really weird. But it wasn't. It wasn't. And you know what really struck me? Was I don't think I've ever been at the launch of something that's got so many people who just wish it well.
Yeah.
It's that simple. You know what I mean? Because you go and you're launching something or you're there to present something. You know, there's a lot of like, let's see how this, a bit of kind of cranky ass negativity.
Right.
Or there's that kind of hypercritical, whatever. Not that the fans, inverted commas, aren't critical, because they absolutely have opinions and a discerning idea about what they think is right and wrong in terms of the material, but such goodwill and positive. I mean, it was really amazing. It was fantastic.
You got to meet some of the fans.
Yeah,
during the signing.
They were
and
great.
Stuff. Yeah.
I didn't know who anyone was dressed as though. I'm so sorry. Who are you? I'm so sorry. I have no idea. Who are you?
Did you ask people if they walk by? That's funny. It's like
No,
Halloween.
but they didn't mind because I thought I can do this two ways. I've got two choices here. I can lie and pretend I know everything, or I can tell the truth. I think the truth is always the better option.
It usually is. Yeah. It usually is.
Yeah, because they were very forgiving of my ignorance. I have to say.
I'm sure they were.
Yeah.
They're forgiving people, the
Yeah.
nerds. Well, except the really bad ones. A Man in Africa. You got to work with Sean Connery? Is that right? Did you get any scenes with him? No, not really. That's too bad.
I know. He has the same birthday as me.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Probably different years.
Yeah. Yeah, just a bit.
Because he's been out of the spotlight a long time. But I've just heard rumors about him. Yeah, amazing actor. John Lithgow. Any scenes with John Lithgow? I love John Lithgow.
Yeah, but I got to hang with him a bit, and he was an absolute delight.
I got to meet him once. Remember that show, Third Rock from the Sun?
Yeah.
I won a contest. It's another thing where I won something.
Do you get lottery tickets? You should. No, you should.
This is what I won.
I can't believe you win this stuff.
Well, this was a improv contest, and I won. It was during a 1999 Bass Ale Comedy Festival, and the winner got to get flown in New York. Got to get flown out to L.A. and be a featured extra on Third Rock from the Sun.
So funny.
And get put up in a hotel and free airfare, and I won. And they put me in 3 scenes of one episode, and I got to meet John Lithgow, who was so nice.
Isn't he great?
It was only like 60 seconds, but he was like the nicest guy I've ever met in 60 seconds. And then in the same episode, I met William Shatner, who was not as nice, but he was still gracious.
Who cares?
He was still gracious.
You met William Shatner. I don't care if he's horrible. I love him.
It's so funny because William Shatner was sitting down and somebody introduced us, I think, and he didn't even say a word. I just said, "Hey, very nice to meet you." He shook my hand and just nodded and just smiled and nodded like he was a queen. And then John Lithgow was like asking me questions and stuff. It was like in between takes too. And he's like, "So what'd you win for?" and all that stuff. It was really nice. Yeah, I love John Lithgow. Okay, then you get to work with one of my comedy icons and heroes, Bill Murray, in The Man Who Knew Too Little. And by coincidence, we watched that the other night again, because Deborah's like, "Oh, I love this movie, let's watch this." And then I'm like, "Oh, Joanne's in it. We forgot that you were in it." And I was like, "This is perfect. This is good for my research." How'd you like working with Bill? Because at that point you had taken a few years off, it looked like.
Yeah,
Kid stuff, right?
He is an absolute riot.
Yeah.
I think my face would ache at the end of every day from laughing. And he just used to make me roll. I mean, sometimes I couldn't get through a take.
Really? I bet.
Because you just look at him, and he just he doesn't even have to do anything, really. He just
he's just naturally funny.
You just go like that, and you're like, "Please don't do it. Don't do that."
Do not move.
And he just used to make me roar laughing. And he also, I'm not that tall, right? As you probably noticed. And he's a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
And so I would have to stand on a box sometimes.
An apple box.
Which made it even more ridiculous.
Right.
Like trying to keep a straight face. And especially when he would call it my acting ramp. He would say, "Bring Miss Whalley's acting ramp."
That's hilarious.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
Did he improvise a lot? Or ad-lib?
Yeah, he just, and that's an amazing thing to be around, because I mean, he's such a master at it. He's so loose, so free.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of amazing to I just thoroughly enjoyed every second I ever spent with him. We had a lot. All my stuff is with him, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. That's great.
We used to laugh, though. We used to laugh so hard.
You should do another movie together.
Oh,
He was a prank? Is he a prankster? He seems like a bit of a prankster. Did he like ever?
He kidnapped me one time.
What do you mean?
He kidnapped me from we were on a night shoot, and we had that Mini. Remember the Mini?
Oh yeah.
Prop car.
Yep.
And he's like outside my van, my Winnie, in the Mini. And he's like, get in. I'm going, it's lunch. We're back in 20 minutes. He's like, get in the car. I'm like, okay. And we ended up in some mad hotel with the Beatles cover band. It was just nuts. But I think I don't think the production was very happy because we should have been back.
So you guys just took off.
I'm blaming him.
Of course, you were kidnapped.
He made me get in the car.
Yes, and he's the.
I had nothing to do.
He's in charge.
With me.
So what'd you guys do? Just hang out and watch the
dances to the
dances?
It's just ridiculous.
That's hilarious. I had Bill's brother on my podcast, Joel. I had him on. He's a good dude. That's so funny. Do you ever get to see Bill?
I do keep in touch with him, yeah. Once in a while. I do see him. I think the last time I saw him was here in town. And I think we ended up in Thunder Road. Is it called Thunder Road? What's that place on Sunset with the Bronco thing?
Oh.
No, it's not called that.
I know what you're talking
where
about.
I mean,
Yeah.
Saddle Ranch.
Yeah, maybe that's
something
it.
like that.
I've been there once. You guys were there? How long ago was this?
Don't even. Quite a while ago.
And did you ride the bull?
No, I'm not getting on that thing. I remember going on a pub crawl in England with him too.
Did you really?
The great thing about English pubs used to always close at 11, I think, was last orders. Yeah. And they have very strict licensing laws. And it's changed a little bit now, but they're still pretty strict. Anyway, the best thing of all, if you want to get in a pub after it's closed, is just be with Bill Murray. Because you'll go like this on the door, they see the face, and they're like, come in. They shut it. What do you want? You can go anywhere.
He can do anything he wants.
He can do anything he wants.
What an amazing power he has.
Superpower.
It's crazy.
He has superpowers.
He really does.
Yeah.
I mean, he just goes up to, like, people will be doing wedding pictures, and he just walks in, and they're like, great, he's in our wedding pictures.
Exactly. Would you say no? I don't think so.
No, of course not.
I don't think anyone would.
It's fantastic. That's
I know.
so funny.
But it's especially good if you're on a pub crawl, and it's past closing time.
That's amazing.
Come on in.
I would love. Was it just the two of you, or like a group of you? Just the two of you. Get out of here. That's so funny. Did he ride the bull when he was at the Saddle Ranch or whatever?
No.
Did you guys just hang out and drink and catch up?
Yeah. We'd been somewhere else for dinner. We'd just been mad for a while.
That's fun. That's awesome. You guys should. I would love to see you guys in another movie.
Yeah, I would love to work with him again.
That'd be so fun. I love Bill Murray. He's the best. He'd be a good Batman. Can you imagine if he was? Okay, this was interesting. 40. There was a TV show called 40 with Eddie Izzard. Did you get to work with Eddie?
Yeah. Yeah, it's about a group of friends and contemporaries who known each other from high school through college, and then, they're kind of still in each other's lives and see where they are at 40,
I see.
Yeah.
So
it was very interesting drama. He's such a great actor.
Yeah. A great stand-up.
Really good, well, yeah, he's amazing.
He's Deborah's favorite stand-up.
He's amazing.
He's pretty fantastic. 2006?
He does his stand-up in other languages too. He just decides to learn another language. I mean, because
he's a genius.
He is a genius.
And then
he runs all those marathons.
Yes, I was just going to say. That really freaked me out because I've run marathons, and but he did a thing where he ran for like 5 weeks every day. He ran like 40 miles a day, taking one day off a week or something like that. And I looked at pictures, and he still had a bit of a belly. And I'm like, how's he doing that? That's crazy. I had to lose all this weight to run marathons. And then Played, that's with Val and Gabriel Byrne, who we just watched in a movie the other night called Hereditary. Vinnie Jones, Bruno Kirby, late great Bruno Kirby. Did you get to work with him at all?
No. But Gabriel, I did another movie with Gabriel too called Virginia's Run. up in Nova Scotia.
Oh, Nova Scotia. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, big perks on that job because I got to sit on a horse for a bit. I always love it if I get to ride horses.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You a big animal person?
I guess I am really. Yeah, I love animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gossip Girl. You've done 7 episodes of Gossip Girl. The Borgias. How was the Borgias? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Borgias, okay. Jeremy Irons, who I'm a fan of. Did you have a good experience on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and the Borgias was great, and it was all the work of Neil Jordan, the Irish director, writer, and so it was a really good project.
It only lasted
Really
3
good.
seasons. Now, what's funny about like British TV and American TV, like British TV they know they're not doing much of it, like many seasons or episodes or anything. Whereas American TV, they're like, how many seasons can we do?
The Borgias was actually Showtime.
Yeah.
And I think there was a little bit of, I remember they had quite a strong and loud fan following, the Borgias. And, but we kind of, that show got caught up in I think there was a changeover of, because the Borgias was brought in by Robert Greenblatt, who then moved to NBC, I think.
Sounds right.
And David Nevins took over. But I feel like there was some thought that perhaps the Borgias, because it wasn't his baby, as it were, didn't get the same priority that it had. And the fans were very, very loud and saying that, they wanted another season of it. And obviously this is the Borgias, there's plenty of material.
Right.
And then there was some talk of maybe doing a special kind of one-off thing,
like a movie
to
or
kind
something.
of cap it,
That never happened.
but that never happened. It's a shame because it was very, very, very good, and Jeremy was wonderful. And I remember thinking, oh, that's really interesting casting for the Pope. He's not who you think immediately, but he was wonderful, and it was a great cast. We had great people in it.
And that was, I think that's the first time you've done a show more than like 25 times. You were, a lot of the other stuff were like 3 or 6 or something like that. Was that?
Yeah.
Did you feel that? Did you feel like, oh wow, I'm doing this character again for a long time? Does it feel like a long time?
Yes and no. I mean, the scripts were great, and the story was always moving, and the character was growing. So it didn't feel like it wasn't limiting.
Yeah.
I mean, I could absolutely have done more with Vanessa because she had more things to do.
Yeah, that's good.
So I think if you might feel differently if you're in something where you aren't allowed to grow as a character. That would get pretty.
Yeah, I'm thinking of some shows. There's a bunch of shows.
Yeah, that might be hard.
That might be hard. And then you got to act with Deborah's favorite actor of all time, Mark Rylance, in Wolf Hall. Excuse me. I like Wolf Hill though. How is Mark? I mean, I love Mark Rylance. He's become Spielberg's new go-to guy. He's in all of Spielberg's stuff now.
Yeah.
How was he to work with?
He's a fantastic actor, first and
crazy,
foremost.
Right? Crazy good actor.
Yeah.
That's what I meant, crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's. It was such a. I mean, my scenes were pretty much with him, and their relationship, the characters, it was pretty intense. And so, and you know how it works. You don't have a lot of rehearsal, and you don't have.
You have 4 weeks.
All of that, and so you've got to just jump in, and it's so exhilarating when you have someone like him. It's like, okay, let's go. It's so exciting. He was such a pleasure to work with.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And he's really charming. He's not like you expect him. He's kind of he's really fun.
Yeah, oh,
he's
good.
not. I thought he would be. I expected him to be a little more serious.
Yeah.
A little more, But he's really fun. He has a kind of lightness that I didn't perhaps expect.
Oh, okay.
And but he's so charming. He's absolutely lovely.
He's funny on stage too.
Yeah,
Even
yeah,
in
he
like
has a great
really
sense of
serious
humor.
roles.
But he has this kind of, I guess it's just a lightness about him somehow, even though he can access the depths easily,
Sure can.
But he doesn't necessarily dwell in that space.
Yeah. Did you ever? So you've seen him on stage? I've seen him like 4 times on stage.
No, I haven't.
Oh, you've never seen him in a
Ashamed
play?
to say.
Ooh.
I know.
Wait till you gotta go.
I know.
He does a lot
Oh.
of theater still, so you
I
should
know.
check it out sometime. Has he ever been in LA? I don't know.
I've
seen him
in New York a bunch.
I've seen him in New York and I've seen him in London. But he's so good. He's so good. I'm glad Deborah introduced his work to me. So then after that, that's all so then you do a lot of like religious types of Noah's Ark, AD, the Bible Continues, Paul the Apostle of Christ, Daredevil, like you had a good run there.
Yeah, I've been a bit holy. For a while.
Very holy. Holy moly. How were you offered or did you have to audition for Daredevil?
No, they asked me to do it. I was just thinking about, I don't know if all those jobs were in succession like that. I think I did perhaps other things in between.
Yeah, I just picked these ones.
But, I true to form, I didn't really know what the scenario was.
You never heard of Daredevil before? Right?
I kind of had, of course. You can't live and not be aware that there's a company called Marvel,
right?
who make things. You know what I mean? You can't not know anything. But I didn't really know, to be honest. I mean, I didn't. So.
Charlie Cox is a British actor. I don't know if you knew him before.
No, and I didn't know he was English.
Yeah.
So, but I read the scripts and thought they were great. I don't know. Well, I do know some of the other seasons because I watched some.
Okay.
And to kind of get the lay of the land. But I think in season 3, the scripts are incredible.
Yeah, it's a really good season.
Really good scripts.
Did you read any comics? Did they tell you to read, suggest any?
They didn't suggest any.
Okay.
And but I looked at some stuff and read around the world of it. I mean, it's only natural that you would do that. And but it's always funny. I mean, I think whether it's a comic book character or a real person or a made-up person, whatever, the process is pretty similar. You read around the world that you're going into because you need to know that world, and you read as much as possible about the character. Then you throw all that away, or you put it all in the back of your head,
right.
And then what you really have to focus on is the script, because if it's not in the script, just because you know an interesting fact about that character or person or whatever, if it's not in the script, it's kind of, and it's good for you to know.
Yeah.
For your subtext, for your backstory, but it's not. But the script is, if it's not in the script, you haven't got it. Like, if you can't. If it's not in the script, it's not ever going to be there. You've got to have a good script.
Yeah.
It's like 101. And we had great scripts.
Yeah,
Eric
great.
Olsen is a genius.
Yeah.
And every single character, I was fascinated with. I loved my character, but I loved all the characters. What they were all going through.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so interesting.
There's a lot going on.
And as a unit, the whole unit, everyone working on it, it was so exciting to like. Have you read the next one? Have you read 8 yet? Have you read 9 yet? Have you read, because it would keep coming. You're like, wow, this is so good.
I'm glad they kept, when Deborah told me
it was exciting
that you were cast. I was really excited that you were cast. And I hope there's a season 4, and I hope you will come back for a season 4.
Yeah.
Would you do a season 4 if they?
Absolutely, I love Sister Maggie.
Did you? how'd you get along with Charlie? How'd you guys? Because most of your scenes with him.
Well, yeah, and especially in the beginning, like
Really
because it was me and
stuff.
Charlie in the crypt.
Yeah.
Like every time I went into work, it would be me and him in the crypt.
And you play his mother. Spoiler
Yeah,
alert!
I
You
guess
play
we
his
can
mother.
Say, we can say that now.
Yeah.
I still flinch if anyone. Can I say yes?
Did you know that in the first episode? Did you know that?
I
the
knew.
First script? You knew. Okay.
Yeah.
They told you.
Yeah, because I had to. You have to kind of know a broad arc
Yeah.
of where this is. You know, you don't have to. You don't have to actually, but I like to know at least a broad arc. But then I don't like to know every.
That's a good detail though, to know that that's your son.
Well, you've got to kind of have a sense. You know, I mean, that secret is why she is who she is and how she behaves. That's her life.
Yeah.
So that one's important.
Yeah, that's a pretty
for me
important
to know
one.
at that point.
That's a pretty important one. And the scene where like you're praying. These scenes must be so hard where you're like just breaking down, and he found out about your secret, and it's like, oh my God, it's like horrible, and he left, and it's not how you wanted him to find out, if you wanted him to find out at all. I mean, what's the prep for those scenes? Like, how do you get to those places?
Well, that particular scene, I remember, like, that was, like, you just got to jump in.
Yeah.
Because there was, I think it was even the end of the day. I think I'd been kind of keeping it, like, just under boil. Because you have to know where you're going, but you can't be boiling all day. You have to kind of keep it on simmer till required, and then and it was like, we got to get it now, just do it. And I remember thinking, okay, I know who she is, I know what I think, I'm just going to do it. So we just did it.
Yeah, it turned out great. Is it one take or multiple takes?
I think we may have done 2. Because I think they covered it from 2. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I always forget about where the camera was.
I said it was so sad. And then there was the...
But yeah, I mean, it's heartbreak for her.
Yeah. And he found out because you were praying to God out loud, and he heard you. And that's another, like, really intense thing. Like, you're praying to God and all that stuff. You know? That's terrifying. Did you ever pray? I mean, you grew up.
Well, yeah.
Kind of
I mean,
being
I had
raised Catholic. Did you have to
I
pray?
had to do praying.
Yeah.
Whether I actually pray, I don't know if I remember actually praying.
Mm-hmm.
But you do the Hail Marys and the Our Fathers and do the ritual.
Do you think back?
But I think that praying is a very personal thing.
Sure.
Because I think that I might not be religious, but it doesn't mean I don't believe in anything or something bigger than we know or
higher power.
Yeah,
so to speak.
whatever anyone wants to call it.
Yeah.
And I think that we're all cognizant of something bigger than ourselves, and that sometimes when you need a little, booster, that you call on something, whatever you call it,
Yeah.
So I think that's available to everyone, but as in, like, straight up praying, I don't know if I'm a prayer, as it were.
Right. I'm not either. I tried it as a kid because I was raised Catholic and went to church, religion classes.
So you do it by rote, and you do the.
When I go home for Thanksgiving.
But you don't even think about what you're saying half the time. Do you just like Hail Mary?
Or I ask for superficial things, like really superficial.
Yeah.
But like my parents, like my family's religious, so when I go back for Thanksgiving, there'll be a prayer that I'll have to fake.
But I appreciate the intention.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, because it's putting people in the mood for good. It's like, if you take it in that spirit
for good. Yeah,
it's intended for. It's a good thing.
I don't mind religion when it's intended for good.
Me
Sometimes
too.
it's not.
I'm on your team
Yeah.
with that. Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
what
I don't mind if it's intended for good.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Well, I guess that's pretty much it. I think that might be it. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
You have upcoming stuff coming out. Gardell, is that right? Am I saying that right?
You know what? That we don't know about
You don't
that.
know. That's a maybe.
There's one thing that I might do, and that I think is going to go in the spring, hopefully.
Cellophane?
No, it's a thing in Australia.
Oh, I don't know that. It's not
It's
on your
a
IMDb.
film. No.
Oh,
And that
Australia.
looks like the most likely thing, and I'm hoping, touching wood, that one
Goes through.
goes through, because it would be really fun to do that.
Cool.
It's a film.
You can't say it. You can't say what
No,
it is.
and
Is it with Hugh Jackman?
no.
He's the only
As it
Australian
happens.
I could think of.
And but I really like it. It's a really good story, and I'd really like to work in Australia.
You never done that?
No,
Hmm.
and I love Australians.
You've been there?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
And my brother is married to an Australian gal,
Oh.
and they live outside of Sydney,
Oh, they live there.
and her family are fantastic, and they make so many great films. I mean, I love what comes out of Australia too.
Yeah.
It would just be. I would really like to do that job.
It'd be
So
fun to stay there for a while.
hopefully that goes ahead
Well,
as planned.
I will pray for you.
In a good way.
That goes through in a good way. Well, thank you so much. I was
You're
going to say,
really welcome.
do you want to plug anything? But just go watch
No.
Daredevil Season 3.
Absolutely.
And The Man Who Knew Too Little, because it's so good. It's such a good movie. And Willow, of course.
Yeah.
My favorites.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Joanne. You're the
You're
best.
really welcome. Thank you.
And scene. That's why I ended you. Thank you so much, Joanne, for coming by and talking with me for so long. I really appreciate it. Joanne also signed a bunch of stuff for me for my charity auctions, so be sure to keep your eyes out for those on my social medias and my girlfriend Deborah Ann Wool's social medias. Awesome. So one more time for my plugs. On Twitter at EJ Scott and at EJ Podcast. Instagram, EJ Scott 1106. Website, ejscott.com. Shush. curechm.org for more information on choroideremia. Shush. And Running Blind documentary on Google Play, Amazon, and iTunes. Please go subscribe to my podcast on iTunes or iHeartRadio or both. You could also check out on YouTube. So a lot of these podcasts are on YouTube too. And be sure to leave a rating and review on iTunes, please. And that is it. We will... Hey, get off of there. Hey. We will see you next time. Thanks.